This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with code GOLFSGPN at UnderdogFantasy.com to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cash back rewards each month when you sign up with edgeboost.bet and use code SGPN. All right, it's time to talk the Valero. Less ad reads than I thought at the top. Have a few more later. But it's time to talk Valero. Obviously, Dom was not on the show last week. He was on an excursion around the world, so we had to take Wes Reynolds. Shout out Wes. Hit Minwoo. Great conversation with about Minwoo with Wes. So shout out Wes for that. It was a great pod. But Dom, happy to have you back. Glad you're wearing the Vikings garb and ready to talk some Texas golf.
Yeah, ready for it. I mean, I think everyone's kind of ready for next week, but until we get there, we got to deal with the tournament at hand. So. Not a bad field for a week before the Masters. It usually draws a decent field anyways. Guys trying to figure a couple things out. Guys who just play it every single year that we see towards the top. But, should be a good week.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited for this week. I mean, obviously, we got Ludwig, Corey Connors, Tommy, Jordan. The decent field at the top. So when you're looking at the Valero, it's a golf course. I mean, TPC San Antonio, the Oaks course, we see it every single year. We're used to how it plays. Anything specific that you're trying to dial in terms of a key stat or a style of golfer?
I started looking at some of the wedge numbers because guys get into spots where they hit quite a few wedges. So like 75 to 125 is what I kind of put in there. And then off the tee altogether. I mean, I know accuracy numbers are down, but this isn't a place where you can just hit the middle of the fairway and have success. I mean, even your most accurate drivers are going to miss fairways here. It just matters how bad you miss them. And like we see different types of golfers have success here. I mean, you'll look at the top of the leaderboard, say on Monday, after this event is finished out, and you'll have somebody that drives it 320 and then probably someone that drives it in the upper 290s. So it's like, I think off the tee all together is decent. And then just the proximity approach, the normal type of stuff that we look at week in, week out. So
I agree with you there. This is a big approach week. There's definitely multiple ways to do it. So if you want to look for a bomber, make sure they're not spraying the ball everywhere, but look for a bomber and then key down on those approach buckets. If you're looking for a more accurate guy, key up on those approach buckets because no matter how long you are off the tee, as long as you're not out of play, you can attack around this golf course. So that kind of makes the odds board fairly massive. That gives everyone a shot, and I'm sure we're both going to like different guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the top of the odds board. We'll go from Ludwig, Corey Connors, Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Cantlay, Jordan, and Decky. Those are the 12 to 20 on DraftKings. Even if you're not going to go anywhere, because I don't know if I'm going to go anywhere here, but if you had to pick or give me your top two guys in this range, in case anyone wants to go in this top range.
So if I had to suggest the top range, obviously, I feel like Ludwig sets up well here, but I don't love the number. I guess I would go to Hideki here. I think it's a really good value.
It is.
Him at 22 to 1 in some spots. I mean, I understand his history at Augusta, past winter, whatever, but he's 28 to 1 next week at Augusta in a much better field, obviously. But still, sixth ranked golfer in the world, and he's fifth in odds at the Valero Texas Open. Whenever I see that, I kind of jump on board, especially when it's in the low mid-20s. Miscut at the Players last time out. I think that was his first miscut in 7 months since the Scottish Open. So course history is solid, especially as of late. T7 last year, and then T15 in 2023. So I think we're getting pretty good value on Hideki Matsuyama at 22 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. If you bet Hideki around 20 to 30 to 1 in like these weak fields and honestly in general, when Hideki drifts, like you're making money over time. So I mean, probably also like in the top 20 market, I think that's a good bet for Hideki. I do worry about his approach play a little bit. It's not trending the way it should be. But with that being said, if it was trending, he'd probably be closer to 15 or that 12 number. He wouldn't be missing that cut. So I'm with you there. I don't think it's a bad bet. I'm not probably going to go there. If I had to bet one guy up here, it would be Ludwig. There's better numbers than 12 out here. And we saw him win on a shorter Bermuda course where you got to hit short irons and wedges at the RSM. He had a decent first showing here last year, or first or second showing, and he played his college golf in Texas, so he's used to these windy conditions if it does gust a little bit. I just think it could just be something to add to the narrative. I know his focus is on the Masters, but I mean, I don't love it. I don't think I'm going to go there, but I could see myself going to Ludwig and bombs because I feel like he'll be within 3-4 the lead on Sunday if he has somewhat of care in his mind.
Right.
And then from there, like if he's within 3 or 4, I don't think having a 12-1 is a bad number. So yeah, Ludwig is probably be my guy up here, but it's not a strong one. So maybe more of a positional than anything, but Ludwig would be my pick.
Is anyone on Tommy that you've seen?
No, and I don't think. Look, I wish Tommy the best. I hope Tommy wins soon. But I don't know how anyone can justify. How can anyone justify betting Tommy Fleetwood at this number? Like, truly, I have no way to justify it because last week at the Valspar or last event, it couldn't have been a better setup for Tommy Fleetwood. Yeah. Medium to harder scoring conditions, windy, technically in the better wave of wind, and he didn't come close. Did not come close. Didn't even, and he on Thursday he was looking frustrated. Like he knows he's the best player in the field. He knows he's one of the favorites, and he just can't succumb to the pressure. It's tough for me to. I mean, I'm not backing him. I'm not saying anyone should back him, but I just don't know how anyone could confidently be like, yeah, Tommy's a good bet here.
I agree. I brought him up because he consistently stays in this range. Like it seems like over the last month or so, and he's not playing bad golf. He'll never really play bad golf. No. But he also, 3 straight events without a top 10, and he's still getting the credit to be up in this top tier range. So it's like it's gonna happen, and when his win does eventually come, it's gonna blindside everybody. The week before the Masters would be a blindside, but like I said, when he wins, I'm not gonna be a part of it. I just think it's interesting that the books keep putting him up here.
Well, think about Xander Schauffele before. He had won, but before Xander was like a winner, he was a generational backdoor T5er and backdoor T10er. And the odds of the top 20s have to correlate to the odds of the outright odds. So they have to put him somewhere. Yeah. Because they can't just list Tommy Fleetwood at 25-1 and then have his top 10 number be the same as like Ludwig's. Like they just can't do that. So I understand where he is in the odds board. But with that being said, like Xander was once the same golfer where he obviously has more wins than Tommy, a lot more. Tommy's never won. But before Xander was like a loser who would just backdoor it. So there's a time where Tommy could maybe bridge that gap and become a winner. But like we've been saying this for years. It's funny that his number's still there. And I don't know. This range is not for me. I want to ask your thoughts about Cantlay though, before we move on.
So he rates out decent for me. Really across the board. It's just, I think it's a number thing. And when I'm comparing Cantlay to Hideki, I would rather it's not much of a discount, but I think I would rather just go with Hideki.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's strictly course history either, but it's just.
Well, Cantlay's never played here, so that would make sense why, but he's playing decent golf. He's got like since the 2025, he hasn't missed a cut this year. No worse finish than 33rd, and his last 4 starts are all really, really solid approach weeks. Some of the best approach form he's shown in a while. You think of a golf course that would fit Patrick Cantlay, not necessarily positional. You can get away with being a long driver, which he is, and a Bermuda greens. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss. We don't know. Maybe this is a great Patrick Cantlay course. If we can get a 20, maybe, but I feel like he's here more for like prep than anything else. Just get some solid reps in.
I would agree with that. Looking at the model that I ran, only Fleetwood ranks better than him out of these top guys. So it's all there. It's not like he's playing bad. It's just a preference thing. And I feel like you have to break ties somewhere along the line up here. And wouldn't be shocked if he won. Like you said, it seems like a course that could fit him, but I don't know.
Yeah. No, I do agree. All right, let's move down the odds board a tad. We'll get to this 25 and 30 range. Shea, defending champ. Keegan, Denny, hilarious number. Daniel Berger, Siwoo, and that's 25 to 30. And you're going to start your card in this range, any of these guys?
Yeah.
Who is it? Is
I'm
it Denny?
doing it. No.
Shea?
Berger. I talked a lot of shit the last couple weeks. I can't do it to my guy, so I'm finally giving in to Daniel Berger, 35 to 1. The thing is, I mean, we talked about it 2 months ago, where we were like, these numbers don't make sense. Like, I get he's in good form, but he shouldn't be as high as he is. I feel like he's slowly drifted in the wrong direction, but the form really hasn't gone anywhere. I mean, 5 straight top 25 finishes. Same thing as what we just talked about with Tommy. Sure, he's not like a prolific winner, but it's like, I don't know, 35 is kind of a breaking point for me, where I was looking at everything, and this is where I'm going to start my card.
I mean, the dude knows how to win in Texas. He's won in Texas in his career, and he's playing some decent golf. Obviously, there's no course history here, but like you said, nowhere's finished in top 25 in his last in 2025. So I think it's a good play. I like Berger as well. Well, I want to ask your thoughts on Denny, because like, what would you rather bet, a 25, 28 to 1 Denny, or a 16 to 1, 14 to 1 Tommy Fleetwood? Because I talked to this about Adam, like, it was just like, they're hilarious numbers. Obviously, Denny runner up here, but if Denny goes runner up win, fine, have my money. He's not doing that.
No, this is a hilarious number, but I mean, gun to my head, if I had to bet one of the two,
it has to be Denny, probably, just because the number.
Yeah.
Longer.
Yeah, it does. And I think, I mean, this course makes sense for both of them, but this is a spot where I could see Denny. I mean, he kind of fits the profile of what we're looking for, right?
Yeah. I mean, be accurate off the tee, be good on Bermuda. Like, yeah, it's a Denny McCarthy golf course, but you know how many golf courses make sense for Denny McCarthy? How many times has he done it? I don't trust him. Like, think about it. Denny did everything possible to win last year. He got in position, and then when he finally could have won, he hit a 90-yard wedge, 50 yards into the water. He doesn't have the gumption. He doesn't have the dog to get to that. Like, he can't. Even when he got into contention at Torrey Pines, he got kind of hung tight, but he missed. His best skill set is the putter, and then he missed so many 5 to 7 foot putts. Like, when you lose your best asset under the gun, you're not good for anything. You're not. Right. So I'm out on Denny. I'm probably out in this whole range. Keegan is intriguing, but I just can't do Keegan at 25. I will live with missing that. I really will. I think I'm gonna just go down and hopefully start my card somewhere else. So let's talk about this next range: 35 to 45. Siwoo, Tone, Maverick, Keith, Tom Kim, Sam Burns, Bud Cauley, Ben Griffin, and JT Poston. Who catches your eye over here?
McNeely caught my eye before I even ran anything, just based off of what he's able to do from an approach standpoint and his wedges. I think we're getting a pretty good number on McNeely. I mean, he came into 2025 and people were talking about him very highly, and I feel like he's another one who's kind of drifted away. So this might be a decent spot to take advantage of his number. There's a lot of names in here that are intriguing because they're not in the best form.
Right.
So like Tony Finau, like Tom Kim, like Sam Burns, for example. I mean,
Sam Burns is a lost.
He is
lost.
But just in general, this is a range where there's a lot of intriguing names. Where do you go in this range?
I mean, I'm with you on Maverick. Like, the dude gained over 5 strokes ball striking in Houston, and he stripes it every time he's at this golf course. Even before he was, this is his best ball striking year as a professional golfer. And before he was that, he always hit it really well in Texas for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So we're getting that Texas ball striking I don't know why, but he hits it well in Texas. The one thing is, his short game in Texas is a problem. It's really bad every single time, and it was bad last week. Like, I bet Mav like 55 to 1 or 65 to 1 last week, and the dude just missed so many 3-foot putts. I was like, what is going on? Obviously, he's like a West Coast guy, but like, he's just not. I know last week wasn't Bermuda, but this is Bermuda, and he's generally not great on it. So I don't know what to make of Maverick. I like Ben Griffin, but the narrative is a little too much for me. Is Ben Griffin going to win to get into the Masters? I mean, Akshay did. Bermuda flow chart. It makes sense for Ben Griffin. Tom Kim, he's striping beyond belief, but he's putting like a dog. I don't know. This range is not really speaking to me either. So
there's one name kind of hovering in this range who I think I'm going to bet on.
Who's that?
A member of the New York Golf Club. Can you guess who it is?
Is it Ricky Fowler?
It's Matt Fitzpatrick.
Dude, no. Why? Sell me on Matt Fitzpatrick.
So, not gonna lie, I'm not a huge
Fitz
fan
clipped.
at all. Hardly ever bet him. I can't even remember a time where I actually bet Matt Fitzpatrick. But I feel like, I mean, I was looking into the wedge numbers. He obviously pops up. He keeps it fairly straight off of the tee. I just feel like at 66-1, where I can get an each way on him, it's worth a dart throw. That's all I got.
When was the last time Matt Fitz got into the mix? Let's look back. He was T5 at the Memorial and backdoored it.
When I did my season-long rankings and looked at his 2024 as a whole, I was shocked how bad it was.
Well, when you get married on the Jersey Shore, that's what happens. Everything goes to shit. His career went to shit once he got married on the Jersey Shore. And I trust me, I know how that could turn to fruition, being born and raised there. So Matt Fitzpatrick, I'm gonna say I'm out. I would fade him in a matchup.
I can't blame you.
Yeah. Dart throw though. Dart throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I'll go down towards this range too. I really like a guy around this same number, Rick Fowler, Slick Rick, Big Dick Rick.
Teammates.
Teammates, NYCGC. So he's not been playing any great golf by any means, but he's been hovering around average in the ball striking. He knows how to play in these conditions, and more than just the narrative, I'm actually not buying the narrative at all. I think this is a good golf course for Ricky. Like, he will hit fairways. He's been driving it okay, and I like him with the middle irons and short irons, much more better with the long irons. The putter has been an issue, but I trust him tee to green wise on this golf course, and I just think he's really close. I've been seeing him up close in person for the last 3 months, and he looks confident as he's looked in a while. So I think Ricky 65, this is a good number for him. Like, the only time I've actually liked Ricky this year. So I'm going to give him a go around here. I think I'm going to.
That's fair. Yeah. I can't blame you there. I would love to see a Ricky Fowler win at some point in the near future. Another guy near this range who I'm intrigued upon is Alex Smalley at 80-1. So very hot start of 2025. I made 6 of 7 cuts. All were top 25 finishes. I mean, he kind of imploded a couple times down the stretch there, but 2 straight missed cuts kind of pushed his number down this way. The approach fell off in those 2 events as well. But, I mean, he stayed strong off the tee for what it's worth in those missed cuts. But 80-1, Alex Smalley caught my eye.
Yeah, it's a good number. Hopefully he can – I think we're both in the camp that Alex Smalley can't win, but if you got a guy in the mix at 80-1, anything could happen. Like, I could see him posting a number, and then like winning in a playoff maybe after he posts one like an hour early. But I just don't trust Alex Smalley to beat any golfer down the stretch. Like, Alex Smalley versus Tommy Fleetwood, like, who would you pick down the stretch? I don't. It's a coin flip, honestly. I don't know.
It'd be a great watch.
I want to take a look at Chris Kirk and Justin Rose, who are also in this number, guys who will both hit fairways and are generally great with their short irons and mid irons. Chris Kirk has been gained 3 straight weeks on approach, which is he hasn't done that in a long time, and he plays this event every single year. He's got 4 top 10 finishes here, and Chris Kirk is a man of a creature of habit and a creature of nature. Like, he goes to his spots, and this is a Bermuda golf course that kind of asks the questions you'd want Chris Kirk to answer. I didn't like him really going into the week, but the more I look into Chris Kirk, I'm like, I can give him a shot here. I can give him a shot. So I don't mind Chris Kirk at 80-1 or whatever. I'm sure there's better numbers out there too.
Yeah, I'm seeing 80 I think is about as good as it gets this week.
Yeah, I don't mind that. And Justin Rose, he intrigues me too. But, I mean, Adam mentioned it the other day with me. How much does Justin Rose care about the Valero Texas Open? He hasn't played this golf course ever, never before played here. So I feel like he's just getting tune-ups before Augusta. So I'd probably go with Kirk instead of Rose.
What are your thoughts on Ryan Gerard?
Ryan Gerard, I think he's really, really good at golf, but I want to say that I like him on longer golf courses. Obviously, he did that last week. He played really well in Houston, and I found out on Tuesday night that he has the course record at Panther National at 7,900 yards. So that just makes me like those two things going together. Obviously, played well last week, and then having the course record at a golf course that a ton of pros play at 8,000 yards. I think I'm gonna pencil him as a bomber. I'm gonna go with that. But yeah, he's good. I think he's good. Which you can get away with it here though.
Good number. I just thought off of what we saw last week, 80-1 is definitely doable.
Dude, and he loves Bermuda. He's been striping the approach.
I know,
dude. I'm kind of in. I can get in. And he putt well here last year. Ryan Gerard could be a collab play in a second.
Yeah,
you want to get into some triple Ds?
Yes.
Some triple Ds. All right, we'll do triple Ds really quickly. 2 ad reads. Edge Boost. SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the book, at the casino, at the DFS site. You can earn up to $750 a month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. The best part is there's no credit checks and it's completely free. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Finally, we're brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet every sport, including the college basketball games. Props for every single game. MyBookie accepts customers from around the world. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code GOLFSGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's mybookie.ag, promo code GOLFSGPN. All right, Dom, triple digits. Lead us off. Give us a guy or a few guys that you like down in this range.
First guy who I have placed a bet on at 110, and I can tweak my model anyway, and he doesn't go anywhere. It's Victor Perez.
Wow, that's not what I thought you were going to say, but I like it.
Another guy who I rarely go to, but I mean, T18 at Houston, T22 at Valspar, T18 at Cognizant. He's across the board. Gaining strokes in, like I said, every metric that I was looking at in my model. Doesn't do any one thing like over the top great, but has just been playing some consistent golf. So I think at 110-1, Victor Perez is definitely worth a look.
That's a good freaking call. I really like that. I bet Victor Perez one time last year, and it was at Cognizant. And he played really well. I think he finished inside the top 10 and played really well at Le Golf National, golf course where you have to be somewhat positional and hit short and mid irons into greens. Cognizant Bermuda. He played well. He putt well at the Valspar, Bermuda. He striped it at the Cognizant. Wow. I like it.
I got a 110. It looks like 100's available.
Hey, I'm fine with that. I like Victor Perez. Yeah, he's a good player. I'm down for Victor Perez. The guy that I was leaning towards 100 plus is Doug Gim. Doug Gim 110-1. He couldn't be playing worse golf right now, but this is the style of golf that Doug Gim needs. Think of a golf course that is a TPC Bermuda golf course that's not in Florida. That's the Shriners out in Vegas, and this is one of the only other ones that's a Bermuda TPC course that's not in Florida. So check those boxes connect with Doug Gim, and if he was in any form, he'd be 50-1. So I think I'm buying the dip on Doug Gim for a great TPC positional guy.
Remember where Doug Gim was 6 months ago when we were doing the show?
Yeah, I do.
Like
I sure do.
30-1, pushing it was the fall swing, mine, but still, like he was playing amazing golf not even a half year ago. So get him in the triple digits in a field like this. Why not?
No. Yeah, I think that's a good call. Going down the board a little bit in this probably more the positional markets, but I want to take a look and I want to maybe give Chandler Phillips some love. Chandler Phillips is a Texas guy. He went to Texas A&M and he's played well on Bermuda golf courses where you have to hit your spots. So for at 200, 150 to 1, you could definitely find some. I think he can mix. He's gotten in the mix before, but I think you'd be better off with like a top 40 around with Chandler Phillips. Anyone else you like triple digits?
2 positional guys who I definitely won't bet outright, but Steven Fisk plus 170 for a top 40.
Stripes so hard.
Yes. 3 of his last 5 cuts he's made, all of them are inside the top 30. Approach inside 150 has been as good, if not better, than anyone in this field. I think I put it down to like 16 rounds, and he was number 1 when I was looking at that. Another guy strictly off of wedges and strictly off of my perception on this rookie heading into the year, Frankie Capin.
This Frankie Saps.
Couldn't be playing worse. But I think a top 40 at plus 550 with the way he can hit his wedges, eventually it's going to click. I don't think he's as bad as a golfer as he's shown.
No. He's won. I think he's won before on the Korn Ferry Tour, or I know he shot a 59 or 58.
He won more than once.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player. I think he went to like Minnesota. He's from Minnesota.
Yes, he's a UNRL golfer.
He has the Vikings logo on his bag. I should have told you that. You probably didn't know that. He has the Vikings logo. Yeah, so now he's your favorite golfer.
That UNRL brand from Minnesota that I told you about?
I got that hoodie.
He is one of their 2 golfers.
Who's the other one?
David Skins.
Adam Thielen?
David Skins.
They
got to grow the team.
They got big time. Dude, they should get us on the UNRL team.
I know.
We do better than they would, I think. That's hilarious.
Let me see. I have Capin's stats here.
For the Korn Ferry.
He won once. He had 2 runner-ups and 7 total top 10s last year.
I know he shot 58 last year or 59, one of the 2. So good golfer. If you shoot 58, you're good at golf. I'll say that.
He isn't. Sometimes these guys have a hard time transitioning to the PGA Tour. I don't know what it is, but he's obviously one of them. It's April. Plenty of time to get into the top 125, but he's got some work to do.
When we were at Sawgrass, Adam and I were at Sawgrass. If you're listening and don't know who Adam is, host of the Vincerix podcast with me, another podcast I do, so check it out. We noticed that Frankie Capin's caddy was bad. We were like, this guy's got horrible strokes getting caddy. He was giving him he was like on the par 3, hole 3 at Sawgrass, flags tucked front right. He was trying to hit a draw like going out by the woods and land it on the flag. I'm like, dude, what are you like? The caddy was like, yeah, draw it out to the right and land it back. Like, what are you doing? Why would you ever do that? Obviously, he was like short right, stupid, short sided. So I was like, me and Adam were like, this guy horrible strokes getting caddy. Once he gets a new caddy, we'll be in. So that's our sap intake. If you want to know.
David Skins should caddy for him.
Right, dude. I'm clicking that. You should be. All right, let's get into our positionals. You gave 2. I'll give 2 real quick. I like top 20s on Andrew Novak and who was the other guy I like? Andrew Novak and Mac Meisner. Andrew Novak, very well-rounded golfer, and who could forget he won the Houston Open on Thursday last week before he missed the cut. And Mac Meisner, he has been striping the irons, and he finished T10 last year. He went to SMU, should be comfortable playing in Texas. So those 2 guys, Novak's not scared to mix in any field. This is not the strongest field in the world. And having a well-rounded game will definitely play around here. So T20s on those 2 guys.
All right. Should we do the outrights?
Yeah, let's do the outrights. So you start us off. Give us 1.
All right. I'm going to start with Daniel Berger, 35 to 1. I think it's time.
I like it. This is as good as golf course you're going to get for Daniel Berger. I'm going to go with a guy who I trust to make some putts, a guy who I had his best driving week in some time, his best driving week since Kapalua. That's Harry Hall. He likes some Bermuda grass. He likes it. Played well at TPC Summerlin, a nice comp. So I'm down for Harry Hall around 55 to 1. 55 to 1. He'll be my first click. Who else you're on?
My second one, I'm going to pull the trigger right after the show, but I'm going to go Matt Fitzpatrick at 66 to 1. I have nothing to back it. But I'm betting Matt Fitzpatrick 66-1.
I feel you. I'm gonna go with Mav. I just hope he can find out the short game.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, Maverick McNeely is a great putter. Like he can't be left dry in Texas forever in terms of making some putts. So I'm down for Maverick to find some short game love.
Do we want to collab the third one?
On Vic Perez? Yeah.
No.
Okay. Who are we collabing with then?
Ryan Gerard.
No. Dude, actually, what's his number?
80.
Actually, all right. Well, you'll take Gerard. I'll take Perez. That'll be our.
Because that would have been my other one. So
yeah,
double collab.
Gerard and Perez. Double collab.
Ryan Gerard, Victor Perez playoff.
And yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. So honestly, all these guys I like that we just mentioned, I'm not evaluating Fitz. I'll evaluate on Berger. I don't like Fitz, but everyone else, I think we both like them in all the markets too. So
yeah.
Hopefully get some top 10s, get some top 20s on those guys. Could make your week. But yeah, that wraps it up. Any questions, you know where to find Dom and I. As always, thank you for listening. And Dom, thank you for joining. We have one more week until the big one. So
big week.
We'll catch you guys then. So peace out. Catch you guys next week.
See ya.